It's Yuga season, baby. OTHERSIDE have just dropped some huge news in regards to the Legends of the Mara game, which is starting this summer. So it's actually already summer, so it's going to be starting soon. And yeah, they dropped some huge news. So let's just dive straight in on what the news actually is. Maybe we should have a quick recap on where we're standing with the Legends of the Mara game as well. So as we already know, we are evolving our Maras into Coda Maras. And if you want a full deep dive explanation of how all of this works, you can watch my previous video on Legends of the Mara. But as we know, we're evolving these Coda Maras to fight the Shattered, and that is what came down. That those vessels, the vessels that we have here, are what the Maras come from. That is what came down in the meteor strikes. And who gave us forewarning of these meteor showers coming? 10KTF gave a big warning of this meteor shower, and that kind of ties in to what the big news of today's video is. So the big news that the other side have released, if you didn't see this, is that in this big battle, this big upcoming cosmic battle between us and the Shattered, which we don't know exactly what the Shattered is yet, we're going to be able to use allies to help us in this fight. So it's not just going to be Codas and Coda Maras, we're going to be able to use allies. So what are these allies? So they hinted that, or no, they actually went out and said that allies includes PFPs from the Yuga Labs the Yuga Labs universe, as well as third-party NFTs. So third-party PFPs are also going to be able to be used in the fight against the Shattered, which is kind of groundbreaking. It's just huge news, especially for those collections, which they haven't released which collections they are, but I'm going to walk you through the most obvious ones and then some potential speculation ones that are going to be able to use in this fight against the Shattered. And it's likely that all of the profile pictures which are selected are going to have a good likelihood of pumping into that news. So OTHERSIDE shared this photo here, and if you look at the top, where the number 1 is, you can see a Coda hand touching an ape hand. So that's the first real, I've been waiting for this for so long. I've been saying, is this the same battle? Bored Ape Yacht Club have been hinting about a big massive upcoming battle, and I've kind of guessed that this upcoming battle in the Bored Ape Yacht Club universe is the same battle that's going to be happening in the OTHERSIDE universe, because they haven't linked those two worlds, those two universes fully yet. And I was just kind of waiting and saying eventually they're going to collide, or they're going to amalgamate these two universes together. And finally, this is the proof, or this is the time that they actually are going to do that. The Bored Ape universe, Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, are going to be one of the first allies. I'm sure that's not a surprise, but that's the allies you're going to be able to use in the fight against the Shattered. And this upcoming cosmic battle that has been hinted at for months and months and months is probably this battle against the Shattered that we're going to be experiencing right now. In this photo, I just pulled this from Twitter. I didn't make it, but it's just more, if you want to try and read through the tea leaves of what this photo actually is, there's not a huge amount into it. So all of these allies give you a boost or help you fight the Shattered. So it is an advantage to have some of these PFP collections. To have an ally in your fight against the Shattered will probably give you a better score in the leaderboard. So if you're going to get a better score in the leaderboard, the profile pictures or the PFPs that will be used in this fight are probably going to get quite a bit of a pump, if they are going to be very useful in this fight. Now, we don't know to what degree they're going to be useful, but they are going to be useful in some capacity. It's better to have one than to not have one in this fight, in this game that's upcoming this summer. So, and I would assume that the power or the boost that you're going to get is not going to be proportional to the floor price of whatever PFP that you are using. That would just be kind of weird. I would assume, but I might be wrong, I would assume that apes have an advantage over a third-party collection, but I wouldn't say I'd say the rest of the third-party collections, I would have a similar amount of boost or a similar amount of help as a profile picture. So the alpha would be to buy the profile picture collection with the lowest floor price, because that is going to pump the most, probably, because if they all have the same amount of effect or the same amount of boost, then the one with the lowest floor price is going to get the most boost, because it's going to provide the same benefit, but it has the lowest floor price. So we're going to run through all the different collections that I think are going to be part of this and some that are just speculation. So the first one, and I think the most obvious ones we'll go through first. So the first one is obviously going to be 10KTF. There's a few reasons for this. Like what I mentioned at the start, the links between OTHERSIDE and 10KTF are just enormous. I've talked about this in my 10KTF videos. Gordon, I think, actually said he wants 10KTF to be the first place you enter when you go into the other side. So he wants the New Tokyo, sorry, not 10KTF. He wants New Tokyo to be the first place you go when you enter the other side. And for months, if not like a full year, 10KTF have been putting hints about their links to OTHERSIDE. Like we saw these Coda Juice bottles all throughout their, like from a really early on, we saw the Coda Juice in their photo releases. Another strong clue, which is just like 100% evidence, you can see that the Legends of the Mara poster, you can see kind of like the art style here, and look at the art style of the one of the recent 10KTF photos. It's basically the same art style. Now, can we see this art style in any other profile pictures, any third-party profile picture collections? Because we know 10KTF is now owned by Yuga Labs. They actually went ahead and acquired 10KTF. But some third-party profile picture collections have also been using this art style. Let's have a look. So here we can see Renge kind of using this art style. This has been on their website for a long time. And for ages, people thought that Renge is just an art collection, just an art profile picture collection. They're not really going to be building anything themselves. But if they're integrating into what OTHERSIDE's building, now they don't need to build anything themselves. They can just have this really cool art that people love, but also succeed off the back of what Yuga Labs is doing. So the first link is obviously the same art style, but also if you look on their website, this was recently updated. If you look at this photo, I'll give you a few seconds to see if you can spot it. Maybe pause the video if you want to try and spot it yourself. But yeah, if you look very closely, you can see vessels in this photo. So you can see the orange and the green vessels here in that photo. So that's just another 100% proof that this is going to be another of the third-party collections. To add to that, Winyu Labs, which is the owner of 10KTF, also has ties to Renge. So they're all interconnected, very much so. So Renge, 10KTF, almost sure bets. Here's another, probably a little bit less obvious one, and also quite a low floor price, is OnlyForce. OnlyForce released this photo, and does that kind of look like the same art style? I'll leave that up to you, but yeah, I think it is somewhat similar as well. Maybe it's just a coincidence that they use red and black, but I don't think so. Now we have to remember that G tags are the profile picture collections of 10KTF. It hasn't happened yet, but I think the profile pictures for 10KTF and G tags are sitting at less than like half an ETH at the moment. I think these G tags will be profile pictures in time for Legends of the Mara. That's just a guess. I have no, I'm not going to say that with a 100% certainty, but I think there's so many ties here. I think they will try and get them ready for the Legends of the Mara game, so the 10KTF universe can participate with their profile picture. And in that case, I think, yeah, G tags potentially are obviously not financial advice, but are interesting at these levels. And if you want to dive further on like the G tags and the 10KTF, I'll link one of my videos on it right there. But here is some other speculation, some other third-party PFP collections which might become an ally or be able to become an ally. Now, like you can see that from some of these were included in the first OTHERSIDE trailer, happened well over a year ago at this stage. So the likes of Cool Cats, Cryptodes, they were all within that spaceship. But there are some other collections here which have other links and other ties to the Yuga Labs ecosystem. So this shows again how insistent Yuga is on trying to make Web3 open and trying to make, like, they don't want a siloed experience of just their projects. You can use their projects in their universe or in their OTHERSIDE metaverse. They want to really have it an open, decentralized, and let everyone come in, which is a great ethos in my opinion. The other thing that I'm speculating on, I'm not sure if this is going to be true, but as we know, the heavy metal collection, which came from the Dookie Dash, started out as these cubes, and it's evolving now from these little cubes. Now it's these little characters, and eventually it's going to be a full mech suit. And I've been saying this for a while, that they're going to evolve into a mech suit, And what I'm thinking is that the third-party NFTs and the allies will be able to hop into one of these mech suits. So you'll be able to put your Bored Ape or your Mutant Ape or your Ranga or your 10KTF Citizen into one of these mech suits in this upcoming battle. That's just a speculation that I have. I have no confirmation on that whatsoever, but I think that would tie these two battles in very nicely together. They've said that Legends of the Mara, this is just season 1 of Legends of the Mara, so this is going to be a long 2D experience, a long game that's going to go on for the summer, but it's just season 1, so there will be a season 2. And if you do well in this game, like with Dookie Dash, if you did well in Dookie Dash and got a really high score, you could get, as Mongrel did, up to $1 million for having the highest score. So probably something similar is going to happen in Legends of the Mara, but in this case it's going to be a strategy game. It's not going. It's kind of like kind of more like Clash of Clans or something like that. So we're shaping up for a big Yuga summer. I know it's been rough out there for Yuga asset holders for the last few months. Like, we had a nice run up into the Dookie Dash game. Yuga assets were pumping really hard, and then ever since the Dookie Dash game, it's been a slow grind down. Now potentially we've hit the bottom with all the speculation that's coming up for this upcoming Legends of the Mara game, the Heavy Metal collection. There's so much happening, and Yuga season is going to be starting again, in my opinion, for this summer for the Legends of the Mara game, and that will generally help every single NFT project along the way as well. Okay, so that's all the speculation for today's video. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Cheers.